champs, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer and subscriber, thank you for joining. And if you're new to this channel, please check out the other videos that you may also enjoy. So today's video is just going to be about the importance of mentorship. I think as a new graduate, it's very important to have someone that has walked the same path as you, that you aspire to be. So if you're a fresh graduate, then someone with 4 or 5 years of experience, or someone even more mature, that's a very important network to build at the start of your career. So I was part of a volunteering program called Excel at Uni, where I was mentoring last year and the year before. I was mentoring graduates, trying to get them ready for the workplace. So the first year I mentored a young woman. She was a fresher at UCT in construction studies. And then the second round I mentored 2 gentlemen. One was doing his final year at Stellenbosch in investments, and then the other one had an AXI undergrad, and then was busy with financial engineering honors at UP. So obviously the second round I felt more in tune with them because we studied the same thing and we had similar aspirations, right? So the importance there, I think, is I learned a lot from them, just interacting with them, because you sort of remember who you were, what you wanted when you started, the fire that you had. At the same time, what they benefit from you is just thinking about things that maybe they weren't aware of. So things like in the workplace, especially in asset management or financial services in general, there is a lot of alcohol. So if you're a person that drinks, then you get in these spaces and then you let go, you become free, you become who you are around your friends, forgetting that this is the workplace. So not everyone is going to have someone who's like, look, if when you're around friends, you can drink 2 or 3, when you're with colleagues, drink 1 and then head home, right? If you want another one, then take it to go. So small things like that, things like don't discuss politics in the workplace, steer away from, race in the workplace. It's often difficult in asset management, right? Because you'll be talking about the economy and then the EFF will come in, the ANC will come in. But unless you absolutely have to steer away from divisive, I think, topics, because once you have a we against them, you're alienating certain people around the kitchen or the coffee table, and you don't want that, right? And then other things like you should keep a timeline of when you're applying for graduate programs. This is something that I touched on in the previous video, right? Where I was like 2024 graduate program applications are open. So many people will apply at the end, or some people don't actually know that you don't have to have your physical degree yet before you apply. You can apply mid-year, you can apply well before that. April, May are good times to apply if you're graduating in October, November, right? So small things like that, and it's good to just tap into, people that have walked the road, like I said. I think I had, coffee with my mentor, like, I think two months ago. We met in Mall of Africa at Starbucks, and he was just asking, am I happy finally salary-wise? And I was like, no. And then he asked me, what's the plan going forward? Have I thought about my MBA and stuff like that? I told him, look, MBAs are ridiculously expensive, South African and overseas. But I also told him that I'm busy with my, actuarial board exams now because I've moved from asset management. And so once I get to ARM, right, then I've got the same, qualification level as a master's level. Granted, I don't have the networking that I would have gotten if I were to go to the MBA route. But I also didn't quite understand how that would fit in with, my current work and my, career progression. So what I did is I took that conversation I had with my mentor, and I kept it. And in my one-on-one with my manager this month, I was like, hey, I've been thinking about business schools. Can we chat about that? And I prepped him before the meeting, right? So I was like, hi, we have a one-on-one at this time on this date on Wednesdays. We have it on Wednesdays when we're at the office. can we chat about business schools during that session, so that he's aware what I want to discuss, during our time together. And I thought it was very productive. He gave me sort of an understanding of what the technical specialist route looks like, where we in our space, and where sort of the business space looks like. He told me a bit about possible sponsorships that our company could offer. Obviously, I'd have to stay here a bit longer, to make it worth their while. So all of that, do you understand? So do you see how it was just a conversation with my mentor? Then I internalized it, I did my own research, and then I translated that into a meaningful conversation with my manager, right? And that speaks to, I'm interested in my career, how can you help me, what do I know, what don't I know, is this valuable for me to spend 300,000 on something? Am I going to get the return? Is there sponsorship, etc., etc.? Basically, what are my options within my current career space? So that's the importance of I think, mentorship. I think you learn a lot from people who have done the things or gone where you want to be. At the same time, when you're a mentor, you are giving off information and advice to people who are behind you. So it's quite important to be sort of the straddle over there, which is why I encouraged the gents that I mentored last year, not only to accept LinkedIn connections from people with experience, but to accept, first years, second years, because they were final years. So you're basically applying, you're in your first year, graduate program, and you're giving off advice to final years who are applying for internships and so forth. You understand? So that you've got a nice, breadth of people on your networks. You've got younger people that, should you ever want to fill a role, you've got a base that you can sort of invite for applications. At the same time, you've got your peers. Those are the people that you graduated with, your class. Those are the people that you went to school with. Those are the people that you network with when you go to vacation works and internships and graduate programs, right? And then you've got people who are 4 or 5 years, your seniors. So those are the people that you aspire to become. So it's nice, it's healthy, you've got a bit of everything on your LinkedIn, right? So yeah, I'm going to cut the video here. That's all I wanted to really speak about. Just the importance of mentorship. It doesn't matter what stage of your career you are in. If you are in financial services, you need people to open up doors for you, right? There's something called a mentor, there's something called a champion. You understand? So a champion is someone who's going to speak about you when you're not there, right? It's someone usually older, more experienced. They're the type of people that if you are in the same company and a big role opens up, or a big opportunity or a big project, they'll be like, hey, have you considered Tando for this? So that's what you want. And then a mentor is someone who does not necessarily have to be in the same company as you, but they're the type of people that can push you towards things that maybe you weren't thinking about. I mean, I thought about business school, but it was the back of my head. But once I'd spoken to my mentor about it, I was like, hey, let me chat to my manager and see what he envisions my role, progressing into in the next couple of years, and where would business school fit, if anything. What does it mean for my money? Because obviously you go to business school to upskill yourself. So am I going to go to business school and still, be in the same role I was in, same CTC, or is the increment going to be worthwhile? So those are the type of conversations we're having. And he was like, also, what about actual exams? Then I explained to him, look, there's a specialist and then there's the management room. So I just want to explore my options, because MBA is largely managerial in nature, and then the specialist route would be your actual board exams, etc., etc. So it's two streams that at I'm 5 years in now, 5.5, 6 years of experience in. It's two streams that I'm just looking to see, what's the best for my bank balance mostly, but also what works best with, my personality, and what works best with my expertise, etc., etc. So it's a lovely conversation. The fire was started by my mentor, and I was able to translate it into a meaningful, like I said, engagement with my manager. So the two of them are sort of helping me become the professional that I want to be in the future, and those are very important people that I can reach out to try and shape my career. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched thus far, like, share, subscribe, and all of those nice things. Okay, I'm out.